ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna, welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita study group. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are on chapter 10. So let's take a quick summary of what we've done so far in chapter 10. Chapter 10 is called the opulence of the Lord, right? Bhagwan ki alag alag vibhutiyan. So this chapter started off in the first 7 verses. Krishna spoke about how he is the source of everything, right? Verses 4 and 5 specifically spoke about how even our qualities, right? Our buddhi, our knowledge, our ability to forgive, our ability to be truthful, our ability to control our senses, our mind, our ability to deal with joy and sorrow, and our ability to, be able to exit from this material world, everything comes from Krishna. So what we have, we should be grateful for. What we don't have, we should pray to him and him alone, right? Because Krishna very clearly says, Bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prithak vithaha. All these varieties of qualities in all living beings, they come from me and me alone, right? And then in the 6th verse, Krishna very specifically talks about 25 people who originated from him. And then from those 25, we can all trace our roots, right? So he said, Maharshaya Saptapurve, the 7 sages. Before them, Chatvaro, the 4 Kumaras. Okay? Then all the Manus. All of them have come from Krishna. All of them are born from his mind, and from them all the rest of the population, right? The Prajapatis were responsible for populating the planet, and so all of us came from them. So whatever lineage we come from, whatever our gotra, whoever our Kul Devata and Kul Devi, doesn't matter. Ultimately, we all come from Krishna, right? And then Krishna says that once we are convinced of all his opulences, all the qualities, right? once we are convinced that everything, living or non-living, all mystic power, all our abilities, everything comes from Him, only then, after we are convinced, will we be able to do bhakti. Right? And after giving us that background, He speaks the most beautiful 4 verses, the Chaturshloki Gita. Right? The essence of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, become a soul who surrendered to me. Engage yourself in my service. Right? If we can do bhajatam priti purvakam, right, then what He will do is, because of our efforts in just trying to worship Him, He will start cleaning our hearts. And because of His anukampa, His mercy, He will make sure that all this kama, krodha, moha, matsar that we have inside of us, He will clean it all away. He will give us His mercy. And because of His mercy, we will get buddhi, right? We will get intelligence, and we will start understanding Him better. We will let go of our ego, our anger, whatever anarthas we have. He will help clean them out from our heart, because He is going to light Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, the lamp of knowledge. Right? So last week we saw Arjun was so ecstatic when he realized ki this my friend Krishna who's standing in front of me, He is the Supreme Lord. And so verses 12 to 18, he glorifies Krishna. Right? Ekdam dil se he says, ab tak to bahut sare maharshiyon se maine ye sab suna tha, but now you yourself are telling me this. Right? But he also confesses to Krishna, ki Krishna, I am still part of this material world. So I need you to help me. I need you to help me in such a way कि give me the ability कि मैं जहां देखूं I see only and only your greatness. Right? Let everything in this material world remind me constantly of your greatness. Right? So if I see Sonal's sincerity, I should see Krishna's mercy in it. You understand? If I see Sonia's ability to respond to every message promptly and make me feel like, okay, wow, somebody is going to be part of class, right? It is Krishna's mercy. So, through everything he says, ki Krishna, please help me look around and find you in everybody and everything. At that point, Krishna laughs and says, ki okay, I can't tell you all my opulences because my opulences are unlimited. Right? मैं सब तो नहीं बोल पाऊंगा, लेकिन जो important है वो सुन लो. That should be enough for you. Right? And then from verse 19, we started listening to Krishna talk about his vibhutis. There are 82 vibhutis. Right? So please understand that the whole idea of this chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, is to give us that vision to see Krishna everywhere. Right? All these opulence have been given for our benefit so that wherever we look, we should be able to see Krishna. Right? We may think that we are devotees, but truly we are spiritually awake only for a few moments of the entire day. Right? Otherwise we are lost in Mohamaya. So this chapter is going to help us be in this Mohamaya, right? But yet be constantly reminded of Krishna. So he started off by saying, Aham Atma Gudakesha. Right? I am the Atma that is present in every living being. I am Paramatma. Right? So I'm not going to repeat all the other vibhutis. We'll go ahead because there are 82. We have a lot of them to finish. Alright? So today we'll start from verse number 24. Chapter 10, verse 24. Please repeat after me. Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam Vidhi partha brahaspatim Senaninam aham skandha Sarasam asmi sagarah.
Of these, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brahaspati of general and the Kshatriya, of the bodies, water and the ocean.
Okay. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. Okay? Alright. Yeah. Kartikeya. We'll come to that. Okay? Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha brahaspatim. Of all the Purohits. See, we all know what Purohit means. Do we know? Purohit is a Brahman, right? We think. See how beautiful Sanskrit words are. Pur. Pur means city. Kolhapur, Sholapur. Right? Pur means a city. And hit. Apna hit sochne wala. Apna bhala sochne wala. So the person who thought of the good for the entire city was a Purohit. गांव का भला सोचने वाला आदमी was called a Purohit. Right? Who we now refer to as Brahmins. Right? As Gurujis. So out of all these Purohits, Krishna says, I am Brahaspati. Brahaspati was the Purohit of the Devatas. Whenever the Devatas were in trouble, they took advice from Purohit. Whenever the Devatas wanted to perform any yajna, do any kind of sacrifice, they took advice from Brahaspati. So Krishna says, I am that topmost of all priests. Right? And if I am that, that means obviously I care for the welfare of everybody. I am everybody's counselor, everybody's mentor, everybody's well-wisher. So if you have any questions, you can connect with me directly. Right? So if you don't have your own personal Guruji, if you don't have your own personal mentor, don't have any person to help you understand, ki bhi main kya karu ab? Please remember, he is the Purohit of even the Devatas. So he is definitely going to be even our personal Purohit. Right? Senaninam aham Skandaha. Skanda is Kartikeya, who is the son of Shiva and Parvati, the elder brother of Ganpati. Okay, so in the south he is worshipped largely. Okay, he is the Sena Nayak. He is the chief military commander. Okay, beautiful chap. He rides a peacock. Right, he's very, very beautiful in the south. There are so many temples dedicated to him. So Krishna says, when you look at fantastic military prowess, right, like Kartikeya. So when you see anyone being extremely strong, then think of me. Because even Kartikeya's strength, Kartikeya's military prowess comes from me. Then he says, Sarasam asmi sagaraha. Sarasam means jahan pe pani hota hai. So of all the water bodies, I am Sagar. Right? I am the largest. I am the ocean. This material creation we all know is 2/3 water, 1/3 land. Right? And so all the water bodies should remind us of Krishna. Here Krishna is saying, when you look at Sagar, you should think of me. When you look at any water body, what you're actually looking at is my opulence. Okay? Next verse. Maharshinam bhruguraham giramasmekamaksharam yajnanam japayajñosmi sthavaranam himalayah.
Of the 8 sages, I am Bhrigu.
Yes, Bhrigu.
Of creations and the transcendental hope, of sacrifices and the chanting of the holy names, Japa, and of immovable things and the Himalayas.
Wonderful. Maharshinam Bhrigur Aham. Out of all the Maharishis, out of all the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Okay? Remember, Brahmaji created the Saptarishis? Right? In these Saptarishis, one of them is Bhrigu. And Bhrigu is said to be the most powerful Maharishi. Very interesting story about Bhrigu Maharaj that comes in the Bhagavad. Everybody wanted to know who is the greatest. Brahmaji, Vishnuji, ya Mahesh. Right? So they say, Bhrigu Maharaj, aap hai na ye decide karo ki who is the greatest of all. So Bhrigu Maharaj thinks, oh my God, now this is a difficult task for me to do. Right? Brahma is his own father. So first, he goes to his father. And when he enters Brahmalok, right, the whole assembly is sitting, he does not go and offer respects to Brahmaji. Right? He just sits there. He's just done manasik aprad, right? He's not done anything. He's not spoken harshly, nothing. But he's entered Brahmalok and he's not offered respects to Brahma ji. Brahma ji को गुस्सा आता है कि मेरा बच्चा यहाँ आया and so much disrespect. He thinks he's become so great that he doesn't need to worship me. So Brahma ji becomes angry. The anger is visible on his face. His eyes become red. His nostrils start flaring. Right? So Bhrigu thinks कि नहीं यार, जिसको इतने आसानी से क्रोध आ गया, he cannot be the greatest. Right? Because he is so easily offended. And so he says, now let me go and test Mahesh, Shivji. Right? Now Shivji also comes from Brahmaji. So Shivji and Bhrigu are actually brothers. Right? As soon as he enters Kailash, what does he do? He starts verbally offending Mahadev. Brahma ji ke saath to usne sirf मानसिक अपराध किया. Here वाचिक अपराध. He starts and he starts saying insulting words. Right? Shiva gets so angry, he takes his Trishul and he runs at him. Right? But Parvati Maya stops him. She says, oh, come on. He's your brother. Don't get so upset. So Bhrigu laughs. He says, oh my God, this guy is also God, but this guy also gets angry so quickly. Now there's one chap to test. So he goes to Vishnu Devta. Right? Now Vishnu is asleep on the Shirsagar on Sheshnag. Right? आराम से सोए हुए हैं. Lakshmi ji उनके पांव दबा रही है. Right? आराम से is on the ocean of milk. So when Bhrigu enters, Vishnu does not see him. So Bhrigu goes and kicks him hard on his chest. Sharirik aprad. Right? So he physically insults Vishnu. What does Vishnu do? Immediately gets out of his nidra, bows down to Bhrigu Maharaj and massages his feet. He says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You with your soft feet have had to kick my hard chest. So your feet must have gotten hurt. So seeing the humility of Vishnu towards Brahmans, Bhrigu Muni says कि the most exalted position belongs to Vishnu. Right? Please understand, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all of them come from the Supreme Lord. These are called Guna avatars. Right? When Prakriti is created, Prakriti has 3 gun. There's Satogun, there's Rajogun and there's Tamogun. Right? For creation, Brahmaji said, okay, I will become the in charge of creation. Right? So, Brahmaji is in Rajogun. Shivji took on the service of, I will take care of Tamogun. When things have to come to an end, I will make sure that they come to a logical end. So, Shivji became the head of Tamogun. And Satogun, because we all want the Satogun in us to be awake so that we can progress on our path of spirituality, we worship Vishnuji because Vishnu is the head of Satogun. Okay, so this is a nice Leela by Bhrigu Maharaj. Giram asmekam aksharam. Giram, everything that we speak, right? All the vibrations that come out. Among that, Krishna says, I am ek aksharam. Om. That single ek akshar, Krishna says, is me. Pranava. In the 7th chapter also he says, Pranava sarva vedeshu. Right? I am the Om in all the Vedic mantras. So every time we say Om, remember we are addressing the Supreme Lord. Okay? Then he says, Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. We've heard of so many varieties of yajñas, right? Ashwamedha yajña, Vishwa Prapti yajña, yajñas done for so many different purposes. And yet Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita for all of us is telling us, out of all the yajñas, out of all the sacrifices, I am Japa Yajna, the chanting of the holy name, simplest and purest. Yajna essentially means dedicating ourselves to Vishnu, right? And the simplest yajna that all of us can perform with no samagri, no rules, no regulations, right, is Japa Yajna. It can be done anywhere at any time. And especially for Kali Yuga, Harer Nama Harirnamaiva Kevalam Kalau Nasti Eva Gatir Anyatha. In Kali Yuga we have no other gati. If we want to go back home, go back to that Supreme Lord, then Harir Nama is the only boat for us to get on. Right? So Krishna himself is saying, every time you take my name, and here please remember, any Ishta Devata ka name you take, right, it takes you closer to Krishna. But of course, we want to progress on our spiritual journey. Therefore, Sato Gun ke in charge, Vishnu, Krishna, right? Therefore, Maha Mantra for this yug is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? So, chanting is the best boat for all of us to get in. By this time, we've reached the 10th chapter. By this time, without doubt, all of us should hold the mal in our hand at least once in the day. Right? We need to do our mal. Okay. Next. Sthavaranam Himalayaha. Among everything that is sthavar, that is stable, I am the Himalayas. Right? We see that anybody who wants to get answers to his spiritual questions, all the great rishis, where do they go for their tapasya? The Himalayas. They go in the northern direction. It's very peaceful. The atmosphere, the environment, the solitude, right, is all very conducive to perform tapasya. And that tapasya leads to spiritual progress. Right? So we know many great sages have gone and lived in the Himalayas, done their penance there because they want to advance in their spiritual knowledge. We all know that we still go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, Narayan Rishis are still living there, right? All holy rivers originate from there, Gangotri, Yamunotri. So meditating in the Himalayas helps in Bhagavad Prapti, right? And so Krishna says, of all immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Right? Remember, pehle he said, I am Meru. Meru is a mountain. Of all the universes, it is the largest mountain. In our little lok, Himalaya is the largest mountain. So wherever we look, everything that is opulent should remind us of Krishna. Okay? Chapter 10, verse 26. Ashwatha sarva vrukshanam Devarshinam janaradaha Gandharvanam Chitraratha Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi.
Of all trees, I am the banyan tree. Of the sages, among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Charitraratha. And among perfected beings, I am Sage Shila.
Wonderful. Ashwatha Sarva Vrukshanam. Out of all the vrukshas, out of all the trees, I am Ashwatha, the banyan tree. Some books say this is the peepal tree. Okay? Now, these are holy trees. Right? We all know ki kafi baar, even Bhadjis also tell you ki kuch, if you want to kato some of your karma, if there's some problem in your patrika, they'll tell you wake up in the morning and offer water to the peepal tree or the banyan tree. Right? Huge, beautiful trees. People have achieved samadhi by sitting under these trees. Right? So a lot of people worship these trees as part of their morning rituals. Right? These trees are large, they offer a lot of shade. So Krishna says, every time you look at these large, beautiful trees, remember me. This is also a sign of my opulence. So Ashwatha Sarva Vrukshanam Devarshinam Ja Naradaha. Out of all the Devarishis, I am Narad Muni. Every time you think about a story, right, you will find Narad Muni somehow or the other making his entrance over there. Right? Nara, जो विष्णु को सबको देते हैं, Da is to give. So Narad really means the giver of Narayan. One who gives Narayan to everybody is Narad. Okay? And Narad Muni is constantly engaged in bajawing his veena and singing the glories of God. Right? And therefore, most definitely one of the greatest devotees in the universe. Right? Narad Muni is the guru to even Vyasdev. He is the guru to Valmiki. Remember, he's the one who came and made that Valya, that hunter, into Valmiki. He's the one when Dhruv Maharaj was going to the forest, right? He stopped him and he gave him the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha, right? That mantra. He is the one who spoke to Prahlad Maharaj when Prahlad Maharaj was still in his mother's womb, right? So if you look at all these beautiful stories, Narad Muni is present everywhere. Because Narad Muni does whatever is required to give Narayan to everybody. And remember, he has the ability to go from one universe to another. He's not restricted in any one planet. Right? He teaches everybody bhakti. He doesn't teach jnana, he doesn't teach karmakand, he doesn't teach anything else. Pure, simple bhakti is what Narad Muni gives to everybody. Right? Obviously, Narad Muni himself comes straight from Brahma. So from Vishnu comes, from the Supreme Lord, right, comes Brahmaji, and Brahmaji ke bete hain Narad Muni, right? So Narad Muni ki jab bhi kahaniyan suno, we should be reminded of Krishna's opulence. And we, in our own little way, should try and give Narayan to everybody that we meet. Right? Okay. Gandharvanam Chitrarathaha. Who is a Gandharva? Very beautiful human being, right? Not even human being, celestial being, right? They're supposed to be excellent singers and they're gorgeous to look at. They're Gandharvas, right? Among them, the most beautiful, the best singer is Chitraratha. So even among human beings, when we see the most beautiful, when we see somebody singing beautifully, whose opulence is that depicting? Krishna's. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Out of all the Siddha Purush. Siddha, somebody who's got all the Siddhis, right? Matlab, they've achieved spiritual perfection. Kapil Muni, who is the son of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, he spoke Sankhya philosophy, right? One of the yogas that can be used to attain the Supreme Lord is Sankhya Yoga. For people who are very, very logical, right? Sankhya Yoga talks about all parts of this material creation, all parts of how creation came into existence, how I am Atma and, I've taken on this body, what are the different constituents. So a lot of this was spoken by Kapil Muni. He is the one who spoke Sankhya Yoga. And since many people achieve Krishna through Sankhya Yoga, Krishna says, whenever anybody is even studying Sankhya Yoga, please remember what he's trying to do is reach me. Because Kapil Muni is nothing but my avatar. Okay, he's my Vibhuti. Verse number 27. Uchchaishravasama Viddhi mam amrutodbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam cha Naradhipam.
Of horses know me to be Uttishrava, produced during the turning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants I am Airavata, and among men I am the monarch.
Wonderful. Okay. So now he started referring to things that came out of that Samudra Manthan. Okay. Samudra Manthan se Uchchaishrava, an amazing horse came out, right? We know the Devas and the Asurs, they all took part in this Samudra Manthan, right? They were churning the sea, right? And from this churning, very, very interesting products came out. One of them was this horse called Uchchaishrava. So Krishna says, this beautiful horse, who does he depict? Me. Similarly, Airavat. Okay, out of all the Gajendranam, out of all the elephants, Airavat also came from that same churning, and Airavat represents my glory. Okay, so please understand, Viddhi mam amrutodbhavam. They all came from Amrut. Amruta udbhavam. Right? When that Samudra Manthan was happening, they all came from that. So, Uchchaishrava raho ya Airavat raho. They all signify my opulence. And Naranam cha Naradhipam. Nar mein adhi kaun hai? The king. So out of all the human beings, I am the king. Remember, this was a time when kings were ruling, right? And the kings were so well read. They were all Raja Rishis. They were righteous. They were empowered because they worked for the welfare of the citizens. So Krishna says, I am that king who works for the welfare of the citizens. So among all men, I am the monarch. Okay? Next verse, verse number 28. Yes.
1 minute. That Airavat is Indra's elephant, no?
Yes, Indra took it. He came from Amrut. When these things came from different people took those things, right? So Indra took Airavat. And so Airavat became Indra ki savari. Correct, absolutely correct. Yeah? Next. Ayudhanam aham vajram Dhenunam asmi kamadhok Prajanaschasmi kandarpaham Sarpanam asmi vasukihi.
Weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surhi. Of the causes of protection, I am Kandarpa. Of the gods of love and serpents, I am Vasuki.
Wonderful. Ayudhanam aham vajram. Out of all the ayudh are what? Weapons. Ayudh puja bolte hain na, dasehra ko karte hain. Ayudh means weapons. Right? So out of all the weapons, I am Vajram. Vajra kiska weapon hai? Indra ka. Right? Indra has this most powerful thunderbolt called Vajra. Right? This Indra ka Vajra has the power to crush mountains to powder. It was a very interesting story about how this weapon came into being. Okay? Once the Devatas became so strong, they had, a boon. They became so strong that they were thrown out of the heavenly kingdom, by this demon called Vritasur. Okay? This demon had a boon that he could not be killed by any weapon that was known until that period of time. Right? So, jo bhi existing weapon tha could not destroy Vritasur. So Vritasur easily, was harassing all the Devatas, and Indra had to leave his own heaven and go out. So in desperation, Indra goes to Shivji and says, Bhai, please help me. Shivji says, I can't. Please go to Vishnu. Right? So bhagte Vishnu ke paas jata hai. Vishnu ko kahani sunata hai. Bolta hai, main karun kya? I don't have my own Indralok. What am I supposed to do? This Vritasur is creating havoc. So Vishnu says, okay, all existing weapons are going to fail, correct? Yes. So now you have to come up with a new weapon. अब नया weapon कहाँ से तैयार करोगे? So there is this amazing sadhu who's sitting in tapasya, Dadhichi Muni. Okay? Dadhichi Muni has been doing ghor tapasya for many years, and he is extremely generous, very benevolent. Go to him. है ना? उनका मान सम्मान करो, उनको वर्शिप करो, और फिर उनको बोलो कि I beg you to give me your bones. Indra says, oh my God. Vishnu says, don't worry, go. तो इंद्र भागते भागते जाते हैं दधीची मुनि के पास, right? And दधीची मुनि को सुनाते हैं क्या कहानी हुई, and he says, Vishnu has sent me to you. दधीची मुनि इतने बड़े भक्त, he says, what is this body if it can't be useful to Devatas? If it can't nibhav what Vishnu has asked me to do? Right? So he says, बस मुझे एक last बार सारे holy rivers की है ना pilgrimage करने दो. So Indra just prays and gets all the 7 rivers to appear over there. Dadhichi Muni उनको प्रार्थना करते हैं, and then he sits in yoga siddhi and burns himself. Right? Then they get his bones, they powder all the bones, and from those bones, Vajra is made. And by this Vajra, they were able to defeat Vritasur. That is how Indra got back his Indralok. Very interesting stories that come up, right? You have to remember that whenever we see demons who are so powerful, right? We have to remember that demons does not mean that they did not sit down and worship. How did Vritasur get this var? Because उसने भी तो बहुत सारी तपस्या की, right? These are very indicative for us कि doesn't matter what our qualities. If we do puja, if we do tapasya, our tapasya will be rewarded. What we ask for will determine our future course. Ki what I ask for, is that going to make me more Devata-like or more Asur-like? Right? Ye yathamam prapadyante. However we approach the Lord, He will reward us. That is why we have to be careful about what we ask for. Because our ask could make us a Devata or a demon. Daitya. Right? Okay. Next one. Dhenu nam asmi kamadhuk. Dhenu are cows. So out of all the cows, I am kamadhuk. Kamadhenu. Right? Surabhi. Right? Krishna was very fond of cows. And here he says, out of all the cows, I am Surabhi. You want one more story? This is like a story session, right? Whenever we talk of Krishna's vibhutis, it's fun to remember them by stories, right? So, Krishna loves cows. That's why he's called Govinda. And in the Mahabharata, there is a story about this Surabhi, right? Vashishta Muni and Vishwamitra. Please remember at that time, Vishwamitra was not a sage. Vishwamitra was a Kshatriya. Right? Vishwamitra was actually called King Gadhi. And he came from the clan called Kushika, I think. Kushika. Right? So, Vishwamitra was a ruler. He was a great warrior. Okay? And he loved going hunting. Once, when he was in the forest, when he was hunting, okay, he had a large number of soldiers with him. They all had done, they had hunted a lot for that day. At the end of the day, they were tired, they were hungry, right? And when they were passing by in the forest, they saw this hermitage. So they went to the hermitage. This hermitage belonged to Vashishta Muni. Vashishta Muni was sitting there praying to God in tapasya, right? But as soon as the king and his soldiers came, Vashishta Muni welcomed them, right? Bade pyar se, aadar se, andar le raja sare, kshatriyon ko bithaya. And then he served out amazing refreshments. He served out an amazing feast. In no time, he fed the king and his entire army. And everyone was saying, wow, aisa khana to humne kabhi nahi khaya hai. Aisa, drinks to we've never had in our life. The king and the soldiers had had such opulent food कि Vishwamitra started thinking कि ये सब कहाँ से हुआ, right? So he asks Vashisht कि भाई आप तो अकेले रहते हो इस जंगल में, right? Visibly I can't see any means of support. So how is it that you provided such a lavish feast for me and my men? Is it some magic that you know, right? Do you have some special Devata ka blessing कि you're able to entertain all your guests in such style? So Vashisht Muni says कि राजा मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. आपने जो देखा ये मेरा कुछ भी नहीं किया हुआ है. लेकिन एक बार इंद्रदेव gave me this beautiful calf, gave me Nandini. Okay, gave me Nandini, जिनका calf I think is Kamadhenu. Okay. No, Kamadhenu is the mother and Nandini is the calf. Sorry, so Kamadhenu is still in the spiritual heaven. Indra gave Vashishta Muni Nandini, this calf. And like the mother, like Kamadhenu, Nandini is also able to fulfill all my kamanais. Whatever my ichha, Nandini provides. Right? So this Nandini is the one who provided all your refreshments. Now the king is thinking, oh my God, this Nandini, why does Vashisht need her? Vashisht lives alone, sits in puja part all day long. What could his needs be? So he says, look Vashisht Muni, I will give you 10,000 cattle. In exchange, give me that one calf Nandini. Right? Because Nandini is obviously going to be very useful to me. I am a Raja. Right? I have so many needs. I have so many guests to serve. So why don't you do this? You give me Nandini. Right? So Vashisht Muni says, sorry, no can do. Because when I sit down in tapasya, right, I pray to the gods, I offer, to whoever my guests come, then I do ancestor worship, I do all of this. I do so many sacrifices. So this Nandini provides everything that I need to do my sacrifices properly, right? And anyways, this is Indra ka tofa. So I can't just give it away to you. Even 10,000 gaiyan kya, you give me your whole kingdom, I still won't give it to you. Now Vishwamitra was a Kshatriya. He got angry. How dare you refuse what your king has asked you for? Right? He got so angry. He says, how dare this Brahman say no to me? This Brahman ka kaam kya hai? Right? So how can he refuse me one simple cow when I'm giving him a very fair exchange? So he says, acha, seedhe haath nahi de raha, main to khinch ke lunga. Right? So he says, look, I am going to forcibly take away this cow. Vashishta warns him. He says, you're drunk by power. Do not mess with a Brahman. He says, what the hell is a Brahman going to do? He says, okay, chal, Brahman okay na, main kuch nahi karunga. If you can, you take Nandini by force. Okay, I will not even attempt to stop you. So, Vishwamitra goes up to Nandini and starts pulling her. Nandini calls out to Vashishta. Says, Vashishta Muni, why aren't you doing anything? Right? Look at the Kshatriya, he's taking me away zabardasti. Vashishta says, I am not going to help you, sweetheart. You are capable of protecting yourself. So you decide. Do you want to go with the Raja or do you want to stay over here? Nandini says, of course I want to stay in your seva. And Nandini creates so much power in herself, right? That she destroys Vishwamitra ki entire army. Right? Her anger is so dangerous कि Vishwamitra and his entire army could do nothing. Complete destruction देख के Vishwamitra thinks, what is the use of me being such a powerful Kshatriya? Right? What is the use of all that I have accomplished all my life if one simple Brahman is more powerful than I am? That day, Vishwamitra got disgusted with being a Kshatriya. And he said, now I'm going to become a Brahman. Right? So he abandoned his kingdom, he gave up all his riches and he went to try and become a Brahmin, become a hermit. So he set on his mind on trying to become an ascetic. Right? Of course, he became a very, very famous sage, very famous for his yogic power. But he could never forget the humiliation that he had faced at the hand of Vashishtha. And so you will read stories where Vashishtha and Vishwamitra actually holds a lot of rivalry, a lot of enmity towards Vashishtha Muni. Okay, we'll keep addressing those stories as we go ahead. But this is the story of how Krishna says, when you see a cow, think of me. Right? One simple cow had the ability to destroy an entire Kshatriya and his kingdom. So don't ever estimate the power of these beautiful creatures. Next, Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. So Kandarpaha is Kamadev, Cupid, the god of love. Right? So whenever he sees man and woman, he shoots this arrow which has a beautiful flower. That's why he's called Kamadev. And that is where Kamanai aati hai, right? Lust. And so Krishna is again saying all lust is not bad. Prajana, matlab baal bacche. Progeny. When you want to create progeny, how else will the world survive? Right? Man, woman need to come together for progeny to be created. So Krishna says, I am that. When the attraction leads to begetting of a new life, I am that kind of lust. Provided it is a proper dharmic coming together. 7th chapter also he had said, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. That kama, which is not against dharma, right? Which helps dharma to grow. Children are seen as a gift of God, right? How else will the human race continue? So, that lust which results in dharmic children, I am that lust. Prajana Chasmi Kandarpaha. So sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, I am that. We should all keep in mind, Vivaha is a beautiful word because it means Vahati Vishesh. Two people who come together, raise each other and go together ahead on the journey of life. Okay, Vivaha does not mean that we are pulling each other down or we are stagnating or we are degrading each other by more and more material lust. two people who come together, love each other and help each other become better together. Right? That is why Vivaha as an institute is highly recommended. Because in that atmosphere of Vivaha, where two people who unconditionally love each other, when children are born, those children will be looked after very well. They will be loved very well. They will be raised in an atmosphere which will be surcharged with morality, with God at the center. And therefore, Kandarpaha is also Krishna. When you see love, you should see Krishna in it. Sarpanam asmi Vasukihi. Out of all the sarpa, out of all the serpents, right? I am Vasukihi. Vasuki was the serpent that was used as a rope in that Samudra Manthan. Vasuki is the king of all serpents. In fact, jo Shivji ke gale mein jo hai, I believe that snake is Vasuki. Okay? Alright. Verse number 29. Anantas jasmi naganam Varuno yadasamaham Pitrunam aryama chasmi Yamah sayyamatamaham.
To many hooded Nagas I am Nanda, and among the aquatics I am Teli or Varuna. Of the departed ancestors I am Aryamana, and among the dispensers of law I am Yama, the god of death.
Very nice. So, Anantashesh. Anantas Chasmi Naganam. Anantashesh. Vishnu is sleeping on Anantashesh. Right? So, Anantashesh was also Kashyap Muni ka beta. Right? Vasuki and Ananta are both brothers. Pehle Bhagwan ne bola, I am Vasuki. Here he says, I am Ananta. Right? So, Anantashesh, this Sheshnag, is the one who is believed that Vishnuji is sleeping on him, and on his Ananta, endless hoods, he is holding all the universes up. Right? He is great devotee of God. He is also called Ananta, which means endlessly he is chanting God's names. Right? He is floating on that Shiv Sagar, where, Vishnu and Lakshmi are sitting on him. So, Ananta Shesh. Shesh means what remains, right? Jo Shesh, jo bach gaya. It is believed that when Pralay happens, right? When Pralay happens, everything material is going to be destroyed. But ye Shesh rahenge. He will remain. He does not get destroyed when Pralay happens. Right? Anantashesh. It is also believed that Balramji is an avatar of Anantashesh. It is also believed that Lakshman, right? When Ramji came, there was Lakshman with him. So Lakshman is Anantashesh. Right? So all these are beautiful. Krishna always travels with his close people to do all his leelas. Right? So Anantashesh is always with Krishna. Varuno yadasam aham. Out of all the yadasam, out of all creatures of the water, aquatics, he says, I am Varun, the god that controls water. Pitrunam Aryama Chasmi. Out of all the Pitars, I am Aryama. Aryama is the ruler of the Pitars. Right? Pitralok is like a chota heaven. And there, people whose wishes have not been fulfilled go and stay over there. And we all know, right? When we do that Pitra Paksha, we can offer food, water, donations, and it benefits our Pitars. So Aryama essentially takes charge of transferring it to the right Pitar. Right? So he is the one who tells us what to do in that Pitra Paksh. I don't know much about it, but he is the protector of the Pitras. Right? So Krishna says, even among the Pitra, I am Aryama. So whenever you do even Pitra worship, please remember you are actually accepting me at the center of it. Yamah Sayyamatam Aham. Yama, Yamraj, we all know, the god of death. Right? After death, he is the one who decides where to take our soul. Because he is the god of justice. On behalf of God, his duty is to give justice. His job is to give you punishment or reward. Right? and he does not deviate even 1 inch. However hard it is, however painful it is, Yamraj does his duty. So remember, when we are being just, we are doing the right thing because that is what Krishna would want us to do. When we see other people who are being just, we see Krishna in them. The perfect dispenser of justice is Krishna. Right? So Krishna says, justice represents me. Make sense? Verse number 30. Prahladaschasmi daityanam kalah kalayatamaham mruganam cha mrugendroham vainayetascha pakshinam.
Among the Daitya devils, I am devoted Prahlada. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda.
Perfect. Okay. So, out of all the demons, don't forget, Prahlad Maharaj was the son of the demon Hiranyakashipu. So, by birth, where was he born? In Hiranyakashipu's family. Right? Just because when he was in the womb of his mother, he had heard Narad Muni talk about God, he was born a great devotee. So, Krishna says, doesn't matter where you're born, among devatas or among demons, you can still reflect my glory. So that great Bhakta Shiromani Prahlad Maharaj depicts me. Right? Kala kalayatam aham. Kala, time. Out of all subduers, time is the greatest. Everything gets destroyed by time. Even our pain, right? We say time is the greatest healer. Time is the greatest conqueror. Time wears down everything. Over centuries, we'll see even mountains are also worn down. Right? We'll see erosion happening. We'll see rivers changing their path. So time is the biggest and the mightiest. Krishna says, time is the subduer of everything, and all of you are gradually moving towards destruction. You, me, all of us. We are steadily going closer to our end. Whether we like it or not, we can't stop time. Right? Very common. Time waits for no one. In fact, I read a very interesting line. Time management is a wrong saying. It's a very misleading term because you can't manage time. All you can manage is your priority. So it should not be time management. It should be priority management. We can't hold on to time. We can't let go of time. We can do nothing with time. We can simply do namaskar to time. All we can do is in the time given to us, we can decide what to prioritize, what to take care of and what to let go of. Right? So please keep this in mind. Kala kalayatamaham. Krishna is time, so don't waste time. Okay? Mruganam cha mrugendroham. Out of all the mrugas, out of all the animals, I am Mruga Indra. I am represented by the lion. Okay? The king of the jungle. Vainateyascha pakshinam. Out of all that flies, Vainateyas, out of all the birds, out of all the pakshi, I am Vainateya, which is Garud. Okay, Garud is the king of birds. And so, Krishna says, every time you think of Garud, please know that that is also me. Garud is Vishnu's Vahan. Right? Garud makes sure that Vishnu has a very smooth and pleasant journey. When Garud is flying, all Samavedka verses come out from there. Right? So, Garud is also Krishna's depiction. Okay, verse number 31, please. Pavana pavatamasmi Rama shastra bhrutamaham Jashanam makaraschasmi Shrotasamasmi Jahnavi. Okay, Pavana Pavatamasmi. The wind. Out of everything that is Pavan, out of everything that is pure, I am the wind. Right? The wind easily purifies everything. Actually, if you think of it, the sun purifies. Right? We see, right? Animals, they pee and poo on the road. Right? In a couple of days, it's all clean. It's dried up, the smell is gone. Right? We put our clothes out to dry, smell is gone. Wind is very, very purifying. Sun is very, very purifying. Right? The earth, mitti jo hai, mitti laga ke ghaste the. right? Earth is very, very purifying. Water, of course, we know we use for purification. Fire, right? We say the greatest purifier, fire again, right? It even purifies metals, gold, silver. So all these are purifiers. So here Krishna says, whenever you feel the wind on your face, remember me. I am that wind also. Rama Shastra Vritamaham. Whenever you see anyone holding Shastra, who is the greatest holder of Shastra? Ram. And I am that Maryada Purushottam Ram. Right? So whenever you see even Ramji, please remember, same hai hum. Right? Jhashanam Makaras Jasmi. Jhashanam is fish. Out of all the fish, I am Makar, the shark. Right? And Shrotasam Asmi Jahnavi. Out of everything that flows, out of all the flowing rivers, I am Jahnavi, the Ganges. Another name of Ganga is Jahnavi because she came out of, there is that story, right? Jahnavi Muni ne unko shayad kaan mein pakad liya tha. When Bhagirath was trying to bring down Ganga, right? He brought down Ganga because he wanted to release his 60,000 ancestors. But when Ganga started flowing, she came so itne jor se ki she started destroying the fields and she was destroying everything because of her force. And one sadhu called Janu was sitting in tapasya. Right? He didn't want his tapasya to become bhang. So he just drank her up. Right? He just drank all Ganga that was flowing down. Then the Devatas prayed to Janu Muni ki, bhai, please let Ganga come. Let her go ahead on her journey. And so he lets Ganga flow ahead from his ear. He lets Ganga come out of his ear. And that is why she's called Jahnavi, daughter of Janu Muni. Okay. So what we've seen is up to 46 opulences of Krishna. May everything that you look around remind you of Krishna. Next week, we'll try and finish the 10th chapter. We'll try. I don't know. What verse number are we on? 31. Okay. Well, we just have to go through every aspect where Krishna tells us, Jidhar dekhoge, mujhi ko paoge. Right? So next time you go shopping and you see a beautiful piece of jewelry, the artist who was able to come up with that jewelry, Vah Krishna. You see a beautiful dress, you love it. The color comes from Krishna, the design comes from Krishna, the embroidery comes from Krishna because it is somebody's talent, right? So start seeing everything. So when you enjoy things, you still have Krishna at the center of your life. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Thank you all for joining.